Hey guys, as you can see from the background change, I'm in my new apartment. So I'm no longer crashing on my friend's couch like I was in the past 2 weeks. Got my own place. So this place set me back like 1,100 Australian dollars a month. And for context, my place in Australia when I was living there was costing me $3,300 a month. So obviously that is very handy to be in that position. Now, what's changed since I last spoke in this last video? So I got something to show you guys. So obviously I was talking about how much money I'd made, but at that point in time when I was actually talking about how much money I'd made specifically, I hadn't actually been paid that amount. But now I've been paid $1,200 from the other offer I was on. And now I've received the payout from some of the work I've done on the current offer, which is the one at Get Clients. So let me pull it up because people can talk about numbers and just fake it, say I've made X amount of dollars, but no one really shows. So as you can see there, I received that yesterday, a payout of $6,000. Now, some people might look at that and say, well, $6,000, that's not much money. But for me specifically, I came to Argentina 3 weeks ago with $650 to my name. Got down to my last few dollars, still hadn't made any sales. I was freaking out like, well, where am I going to get the next money from? What's going to happen if it doesn't work out? What's going to happen if I don't make any sales? Am I going to have to go back to Australia? How am I even going to get back to Australia? I don't even have any fucking money to get back. So I had all these thoughts running through my mind. And now fast forward to now, because I was putting in the work daily, focusing on the journey, focusing on actually doing the inputs like dialing, follow-ups, all that stuff. And now I've made $6,000 in commissions, and that's actual cash in my bank account, which is fantastic. So the focus for the offer was, when I came on board that first week, was that there was a mastermind to sell. So I completely sold out that mastermind. And now the focus has switched to selling the core offer, which focuses on helping online entrepreneurs build a winning offer. So I'm managing the full sales cycle for that role. So what that means is that I'm doing the setting and the closing. In the future, there's plans for a setter to come on board. However, right now I'm managing the full sales cycle, and I'm going to be documenting the SOP so that when the setter comes on board, he knows how to do everything to a T, and he'll be trained by me, and he'll be answering to me because he's going to be filling my calendar. So we're going to keep a really tight feedback loop. So in terms of the leads that we have, in terms of where the actual appointments are coming from, there's a bunch of different places they come from. They come from Facebook, they come from Instagram, they come from email marketing, they come from YouTube. But the majority at the moment is all coming from manually setting. So that's Instagram DMs, and that is also dialing. Now, no appointments have come from dialing yet, but most of the DMs or most of the appointments are coming from the DMs. So I'm figuring out the dialing side of things because essentially there's a low ticket offer, which people pay a monthly fee for that. And then from there, if people feel as though they need more coaching, feedback, personalized help, there's mid and higher ticket offers available for those people. Now, I was told that I can't hard sell these people, and these people aren't able to feel like they're being sold. It's supposed to be a soft sell. So there's thousands of leads to be called. However, I'm not allowed to hard sell them. So it's an interesting one. It's like I'm there to sell something, but I'm not there to sell something. So I have to be very careful what I say on those conversations, because if they feel sold, then they're likely not going to want to stick around in the community. And that was, I guess, specific advice that I was given. They're not allowed to feel like they're sold. It has to be a soft sell. So I'm figuring out the best way to go about it so that they don't feel like they're being sold, but it allows me the opportunity to actually be able to sell these people. So that's a work in progress. I'm figuring out this stuff. So the DMs are dialed in. Like I'm booking like 3 to 5, sometimes even 6 appointments a day just from DMs. And then we're figuring out the dialing side of things so that when the setter actually comes on board, I can just say, here's the SOPs, here's how to best do it. And as long as he's a savage with a good work ethic, he's going to crush it. He's going to make money because my close rate's good, and I'm going to make more money because he's filling my calendar. And that's the relationship you're supposed to have with your setter, by the way. You're supposed to keep those tight feedback loops. It's not like a you versus them, because you guys are on the same team. If he does his job well and you do your job well, both of you are going to be very well paid, especially if there's a lot of leads. And on this account specifically, there is a ton of leads. So that's where my focus is at right now. I'm trying to figuring out the best way to go about dialing so that I can get paid the most amount of money, and I can make the business owner whose offer I'm on the most amount of money as well. And that when the setter comes on, he has a really good earning opportunity because I'm doing my job and he's doing his job. Now, outside of sales, where else is my focus? My focus for myself right now is, well, first, it's income, obviously. Need to make sure that the income's right. And then as well, it's health, being in the gym. Outside of those things, my life's pretty mundane right now. And that's just because of the season that I'm in, right? You know, you have a season where you may be a bit more relaxed, enjoy the fruits of your labor. Then you have seasons where it's really time to grind. Now, 6 months, potentially even longer before I moved here, I was in a season of coasting, relaxing, just like being a lazy cunt. Let's just put it that way. Sorry for my language, but that's what I was being. I was just being very lazy, not really doing much. Maybe do like a day of work here and there, and then I would coast for a couple weeks. That was really where I was. So now it's a season of work for me, and that's where my focus is. If you're a young man, even if you're a young lady in your 20s, your focus right now really needs to be on stacking that income. Even if you're already making $10,000 a month, in the grand scheme of things, that's not really much. Yes, there's people in third world countries who make a lot less, but in the grand scheme of things, considering what's coming, that's not much money. So you really need to focus on stacking that income because, you know, guys, we call it what it is. The world's going crazy right now. Everything's in shambles. Everything's getting more expensive. So you really need to be in a position that when things start hitting the fan even harder, that you have options to be able to consider different paths. You don't want to be boxed into one specific option in terms of what you can do because you're limited by income. You want your options to be open. If you have to jet off somewhere, you want to be able to do that. And, you know, some of you guys might be watching it, be like, oh, this guy's loony. Like, oh, what's he even talking about? I thought this is a channel for sales. The reality is that, you know, all that stuff with where everyone getting locked down and not being able to travel and all that stuff, people think like, oh, that stuff's all over. But let's just say it's not over, right? Let's just say there's a 5%, 10% chance that stuff all comes back and it's got a different spin on it. You want to be in a position as an entrepreneur, as someone who earns their income online, to be able to make the best decision for you, and you don't want to be limited by income. So if you take anything from this video, it's that focus on making money. Don't just get the 5K, 10K a month and start, you know, living it up and just traveling everywhere. Yes, enjoy yourself, but also place a focus like, crap, 10K a month's not much money. Like, I really need to stack it so that I have a good enough nest egg to where I can make the best decision possible. Now I want to talk about agency versus sales as well. So obviously I was doing agency before and now I'm doing sales. And I'll be completely honest. The day I got rid of my agency clients, I still have one client for that, by the way, just because he's a really good guy and we had a really good relationship. But the day I got rid of everyone else except for him was the best day of my life. Now, it was the best and also the worst in a really strange way. It was the best because this thing that I didn't really enjoy anymore, it's like the weight was off my shoulder. But then it was also the worst because I was now making the least amount of money that I'd ever made. But I knew that I would figure it out eventually, and now I'm on that path to where I'm figuring it out. Now, I think the thing with agency that I didn't really like is I didn't like how many hats I had to wear. Yes, I was competent enough to be able to do all those other things, like the onboarding, the customer success managing, all that other stuff that came with being a business owner, but I didn't really enjoy it. Like, I enjoyed the sales part of it, which is why I came into doing what I'm doing now. So if you are in a similar position to where you're not really enjoying the agency, maybe you're making 10, 15, 20K a month, but you really hate everything other than sales, my recommendation is give it a try, because I've never been happier. Like, I legit jump on a few calls, 4, 6, 8 calls, depending on how busy I am that day. And after I've handled them in terms of onboarding them, like them paying the invoice and all that stuff, my job's done. Like, once I close my laptop and I clock off for the night. Now, mind you, sometimes just because I'm a bit of a work addict at the moment, like I'll be up till 1 a.m. in the morning working, just because I really am trying to focus on making a lot of income. The moment my laptop shuts, like, my worries are gone. As the business owner, as the agency owner, I was constantly stressing about, making sure that the service is being delivered, or whether the ads are actually performing, are the creatives okay, is the outreach being done, are the meetings being booked, how many appointments do I have today, like how's the admin stuff looking, all that stuff that I no longer have to worry about. I just worry about one thing: sales. So if you're on the fence, guys, about whether agency or sales, give it a crack. Now, that's the update for today. As I mentioned, in the new place, now making some money. I think I'll be on track this month to do, on the low end, 10K US a month. Ideally, I wanted to be at 20K, but things have slowed down a little bit in terms of my pace because we're working out a few things. But I'll likely end this month around the 10 to 15K US month, but we'll see how things play out. Every day, just show up, do the work, that sort of thing. Now, if you want to follow the journey closer, I guess on a more intimate basis where I share the day-to-day, Instagram and Twitter are the best places to find me. Twitter if you want like text-based content. Instagram if you want like photos, updates, personal life, that sort of thing. But if you guys have questions, feel free to hit me up. Go follow me over on those socials as well, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.